360 Madonna, a Bentley Continental GT, and their dad just ordered a license with me. Yes.
Matinee last night, and I think I put it on all these tables.
CNC droppers. Oh, that's right. You're a man.
Perfect start. Yep.
Just tell me what's the...
All right. So we did the presentation, right? And basically, there's a bunch of stuff that you can see. But there's so the two things that are on the bottom left side is the kid sketch. Right above that, those things need to be switched, like kind of like this side, but then the top first that can just come out. He was saying that there's just exactly. That's what.
And I gave him this the extra credit. So I just added to it.
And he wants to do well, obviously it's the
She doesn't care if you sit next to her.
Oh, I mean, she wasn't in the class earlier.
Thank you.
So that's
No,
fine.
this one.
Oh, okay. I'll sit next to her then. I just need Dr. Deck.
for those that are interested, there's a helicopter workshop that's hosted by Connecticut Space Grant. It's hosted every year, but now every other year it's in Connecticut, and this year summer it's in Connecticut, and it's a week-long workshop where you learn about helicopters and UAS devices, and kind of a little bit of school, a little bit of hands-on projects, and in the end you get to fly in a helicopter. So this is at CCSU. Connecticut Space Grant will sponsor, I think, 3 people to attend this workshop. So if you're interested, you go to Connecticut Space, ctSpaceGrant.org, and you can find the application. It's all online. So this is the poster, kind of goes into it. But this is the website, and you can find the deadline was extended, blah, 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 students. It's somewhere down here. I'm not going to read through and find it now, but I know it's there. So if you have any questions, come talk to me. Do you have a question for me or just a general question?
Question. Are those workshops like during the day?
Yes. It's for people that are not from Connecticut, it's residential, it's like all day, so you would stay at CCSU. For people in Connecticut, whether you stay on campus or you commute is up to you. But it's kind of all day for 5 or 6 days. Okay? All right. So. Today, okay, today we're talking about sustainability. All right, so everybody, if you haven't been living under a rock, you've heard sustainability like everywhere. It's a big buzzword right now. So this is kind of the topic of conversation today. And so according to Merriam-Webster, this is the definition of sustainable. Able to be used without being completely used up or destroyed, involving methods that do not completely use up or destroy natural resources, or able to last or continue for a long time. So when we talk about, when you hear media talk about sustainability, what's it always referring to? Sustainable energy. What else? So it's energy, and there's like one other, kind of green, right? Anything environmental. But sustainable doesn't have to be just environmental. So it could look at the effects of something on the environment, but it can be other things too. So kind of the definition I want you to think about today when we talk about sustainable is able to last or continue for a long time. So what does that mean? So instead of me talking to you about it, well, this is just kind of a little graphic. I said it's a buzzword, but when you think about sustainable, you have to think about, yes, there's an environmental component, but there are other components of sustainable too. There's an economic component and a social component. So how do those things all meld together to make something, a product, a process, whatever, sustainable? So what you're going to do is you're going to break up into groups by major. And I would like the groups no bigger than 10 people, so we'll kind of see how that goes. And you are going to, in your group, you are going to discuss what does sustainable or sustainability mean to you as a student? What does it mean as a biomedical engineer or a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer? How would it fit into your major? So, does it mean green in your major? Does it mean something else? And then I want you to think about, if you were to graduate today and you had a job waiting for you, what job would you want? So pretend that you already know what you want, or the job that you have. And how would sustainability fit into your specific career? Okay? So if I want to design prosthetics, how does sustainability fit into my career? Or if you are going to work at Pratt & Whitney. What does sustainability mean there? Okay? So, you're going to break up into groups. You're going to discuss as a group, and you are going to write things down, old school style. I need a big piece of paper with markers, and then we're going to, so you're going to discuss as a group for a while, and then we're going to kind of discuss everybody so that we can share how each different major or field thinks about it. Okay? So we'll have, for now, we'll just split up biomedical, mechanical, civil, electrical, computer. Go there first, and then we'll see if we need to split into smaller groups.
How does environmental and economic combine to this?
I mean, that's just one source. So I think that is more talking about like design of things. So we want it to look good, but also
Maybe I just don't deal with dealing the design.
There's a difference between like marketable and economical. Like economic is kind of more costs and stuff, and marketable is people want it. So sustainability like fits into both of those and at a higher level too. And that's a good question to talk about with your group.
I just didn't know what
Yeah. Okay. So what do we got here? I specifically pointed to 4 corners, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Enable the corners.
Two groups or one?
what I think.
I think that's
It's either you get it all, either get it all right.
11 people.
That's how we always do it. All right. Okay. Everybody back to us.
Something that works.
Is this the one left?
Is it just that one group?
Yep.
Did you break them up or did you leave it this
I
way?
told them they have to participate. Everyone has to participate. Girls You don't want to yellow?
I was like, nah, I'm not going to give them yellow because they won't show up. I'll take him a pink one instead. I'll give him an extra pink one.
What's up? So think about what, are you writing keywords,
We're doing a
phrases,
class
what is
because
sustainability?
I think we don't have to get ready for CMA until in the morning, so I think we're gonna have, a section meeting on May 1st. And just do the presentations in class.
Kind of really,
It's just gonna be
when you have like a word.
just a section, so as far as I know.
Yeah, where, like there's a whole bunch of words, well, you can do that, or a whole bunch of words, and then industry, what are the keywords, when you think of sustainability, what words do you think of? Everybody think of one word. So kind of answer those questions, and everyone say, think of one word, and talk about it, and then answer the second question, what does that mean? Think of new words or phrases, see what make sense?
No, the finals next week.
There is no class.
So
May
how-
1st is the last official class. And then there would be the final day.
That's not next week.
Next week. You want to, I'm gonna have, what I did in my class is I randomly picked 2 groups to give a full presentation today, and the other 3 groups will give full presentations next week. And we'll just do, I mean, that's what I'm doing, just because I don't want to sit through presentations, and I'd rather than lose less time.
But there's only like 4% right now in the class, right?
I have 5, so.
Yeah, I have 5 as well. That's good.
Or you can do presentations outside class, like during recess and it's up to you.
When does CDA start?
9.
So we won't be able to do it on that.
So I can bring They need to come show up at around 8. Get it set up and
It'll be
You're probably right, because I'm telling them, the presentations you have are like this. They want to see them.
the other thing I was thinking about is exact time.
You're not doing that.
No, just in your class. Just your class. You can see the grades there and just do full
Yeah, the papers, it's at the 5th. It's Tuesday. So, yeah, so I know what they're going to do. Put all their effort into everything else, and then you're going to do the paper, and then I'll kind
anywhere where you could.
yeah, I want to have a presentation, so I'm figuring if you're going to do presentations, everybody should do presentations. And I don't want to sit through the meetings. It's so much better when you do them in public, because when you just kind of look a little more like they were doing something, it's seen before. Yeah, we'll move it.
We get Project Arrow, which is the area that it's the car a better camera or not, or a better processor, you just throw more memory. That's what we're not looking for. That was actually,
Personal.
no, they were never personal. Right.
So we use different materials for different types of things to make it last longer. For example, like in Hawaii, you would actually use cement.
Not all. This is something that you want something to be like, right? That's actually like long lasting. Ethically accepted, socially acceptable. I mean, to an extent.
Instead of going straight
Temporarily.
you know, like, like this way, they can manipulate because you're getting it.
Yeah, we can always add.
I guess I would just be like, all right, well, they're at the conference. Check in with them. Be like, is there like
Dan,
The obvious question is the word sustainability, sustaining, what are we trying to sustain? Let's start there.
Fab Lab.
Figure out what it is you're trying to sustain.
no. Well, all the architecture. That's, I mean, that's the point. They want that for them, for their students. Which I get, like, particularly like the laser cutter, because they use it for all the models. And then you get nice straight cuts. Got it. I want to cut balsa wood.
We don't want that. I don't think anybody wants to.
Yeah.
Off to the side.
So you do it inside a solid, so there's what they call a shell command. The other thing you can do is, if it doesn't necessarily need to be solid, but you can use support material cheaper than the actual material that they use to cut the outside of the part. So what they do is they fill the inside with support material. Make it solid.
Can you tell it?
With a maker?
No.
Yeah. I have not used setup there is, but there is a way to integrate support material, because what this is, so you want to make that cut, right? The lid. You want to make the lid. Well, it can't make this part here in the middle without the support materials. So what it would do is it would start printing the outside and it would fill with support.
Right, but if you want it, if you have something solid,
Right, but I think you
actually make the part hollow.
it's easy to do.
I'm curious about
That would be easy to solve with and automatically fusion. Yeah, so my like 30% open space. I feel like it's probably a really easy feature. It may already be there, I just don't know.
I mean, with
for example, like building to make something within 8 materials, so that's where that they like making stuff there. And I think everything just relates to that.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say you could just yeah, but it's not that. It's not now. You put them together. Here's the world. Make it do something. You don't want to say the word class. The word class I can't draw.
we've got to sit through the trials and promotions, design, all that stuff. We've got to sit through all that stuff. How you gonna figure out how to fix your nature shit?
I know I was wrong.
They just don't like it. They're gonna have to use their process. If they like it, even if they don't like it, if it's not functioning properly, you need to get over it. I think that we just start with
We've been talking about
So one other thing, I don't want to interrupt you, but one other thing to think about is a lot of projects like PWB and that sort of stuff. So as a civil engineer, designing stuff for people in third world countries, how does sustainability fit into that? The term that the definition of is what we have here, and say, there's groups that build housing, modular housing, or whatever, and then bring it to Haiti and set it up so it's temporary housing. What does sustainability mean in that essence? Well, in that, so say you're working on that project as an engineer. What different aspects, like how does sustainability change when you think about that? Is it easier to do if you don't have as many equipment to make it? They don't have all like the big diggers, right? So there's different things like, are you building it here and giving it to them, or are you teaching them how to build it? And that, in a sense, is a different type of sustainable, right? Because you're going in and you're teaching, the people how to build this house, and they're using their own resources. Then they're maybe making up the job and stuff, so then they can be, as a person, I can be sustainable. I started my own business, as opposed to you coming in, giving them a whole bunch of stuff and then leaving. And then what happens? So if you did a good job designing it, they know how to fix it, and they can rebuild it. And that's a big deal with a lot of the Engineers Without Borders types of projects. And here, Chris Carver designs this fancy water system, and you go to a country and you implement it, but socially, it's part of their culture to all the women in the village come together and walk to good water. So it doesn't matter how awesome your pump is, they're not going to use it because that's not their culture. So what you just did is totally not sustainable. You spend all this money and it's just sit there and never be used. So that's another way to think about it. That's a totally different meaning.
Well, I mean, like, I think that that's a good question. I think that I'm pretty sure that there are women who because it's not useful to them. They're going to see how much other people have progressed, and so they're going to be keeping it up. They're not going to want to use
And like even like the temperature, the idea of is I think beating down sunny. It's like we've had a few sunny that's not hot, and it's just like raise a little like tags, like beating down sunny.
Some people
All right, in about 2 minutes, we're going to start going around and everyone's going to share what they talked about. Try to wrap it up.
I didn't catch anything you were saying earlier.
It's a real fuzzy concept. A lot of that stuff is modern.
Yeah. It's all the other definitions of sustainable that are more interesting to me. I was talking to this group about that, about going into different countries. What does sustainability mean? Aside from the environmental, the social impact of sustainability is what because that's what applies to I work with a group called Wings International, and the whole thing is setting up sustainable clinics. So a lot of prosthetics, there are a lot of those that will go into the country and like a week-long prosthetic clinic in the moment people on the
Most of the major upticks are geared towards
people don't see a clinician until they come back next year. So this group comes in actually people there and set them up, they teach them how to do it. We do all the engineering and the design back here, and they implement it there, but we do it with everyone. So there's no clean barrier or culture barrier. We go in and we set it up so then they're totally good. They don't ever miss season. Successfully continue their services. So that's kind of one of that's what I think of as sustainable. And that's one of the social science. I mean, obviously you need to develop something that will work in Kenya or China or not Chicago, you know. Right, and that's very in your face these days. Yeah.
Writing laws about sustainability.
Right.
Can't be a top requirement. That's the work. The job.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to have each group come up, and you're going to kind of talk about, just kind of summarize what you guys talked about and what sustainability means to you as a biomedical, mechanical, civil, or electrical computer engineer, and we'll kind of go from there. All right? Who wants to go first? All right, come on up.
And everybody else, you need your kind attention.
So everybody needs to pay attention and, ask questions. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so as you can see, our poster is awesome, so you should all become mechanical engineers. Actually, no, don't become that because we need more jobs. Meaning of it, product reputation, gotta have an important product, one that's gonna last a long time. Green energy, efficient, product safety, kind of goes under product reputation, and then also product quality, and very, very smallly represented is Al Gore. How that fits into our degree? is energy concentration. Obviously, literally, mechanical engineers have energy concentration, goes to sustainability. Also, people spend their whole careers trying to increase sustainability of certain products, jet engines, transmissions.
Sustainability and efficiency.
Efficiency.
Yeah, there's a T in efficiency.
There is no T. Effects on the career for that is it increases R&D, also increases job openings because need to increase sustainability, and the integration of more engineering fields into certain jobs. So as exciting as that is, there you go.
Good. Any questions? No?
No questions for you.
Okay.
Next group. So whoever, from now on, try not to repeat what someone else said.
Oh.
Don't use the same words that we used before.
Okay, we're not going to say sustainability, we're not going to say energy, we're not going to say anything like that. Okay, basically. Okay, so.
Write down things.
No talking.
I couldn't read yours. Come on close now. Alright, so basically we're civil engineers and that's about it. No, I'm just kidding. So we think that sustainability, what it means to us is just making something that is very efficient and it lasts a long time. So like a building, one thing that we thought of was that making a building that wouldn't need to be maintained that often, so it would be it wouldn't break down as quickly as some buildings that you see in like downtown Hartford that are really like broken down and stuff like that. Something else that we thought of was that basically the way I think that civil engineering got its name was because it has to deal with society and civilians. So we are constantly working with people and stuff like that. So that's something else you guys.
We're going back from people. We wouldn't have jobs basically without you guys, because what you guys want we build for you basically. So and we make it accustomed to where you come from, like your culture and your society and what's the normal to you guys, to benefit it and to make it last for you guys. That way you're not struggling anymore. And then like within our major, sustainability to us is like materials. Like he said, if we don't have the right materials, it's not going to last. So they play a major role in our major, and then like it's also a set of like guidelines for us, because our ultimate goal is to make things last a very long time. That way it's cost effective to everybody and makes everybody pretty much happy, because when it comes down to it, money is pretty key.
Yep. On my back, man, Allison.
Yes.
You're right in the middle. Someone can go on both sides. You guys are all standing over here. You can stand on one side. We gotta keep this. So someone start. Go ahead.
So this is the electrical engineering.
And computer.
And computer, apparently.
Right.
And basically what sustainability means to us is long-lasting. It won't degenerate over time. It also means it will fix itself. Would you care to continue? Okay. It's environmental conservation, so basically it won't destroy the environment in the long run, because it's the only one we've got, trees. What it means to us is energy efficiency. We deal with electrical equipment a lot, and it uses a lot of power. So if we can reduce the amount of power that our products consume, in the long run, it'll help everyone. the energy conservation market is also an entire field in and of itself. So anyone who's basically skilled in it will have a job because it's an expanding field. What it means individually is basically these are machines that we would be making. So computers, MRIs, those are all machines that use a lot of power that are used frequently. I mean, many hospitals have MRIs, CAT scans, ACTs, X-rays, and almost probably everyone in the room has a computer of some sort or phone.
Okay, so we're talking about sustainability for biomedical engineers. So basically we came up with a couple of bullet points of what we think sustainability is to us as biomedical engineers. We think it should be long-lasting, something that's durable, something that involves conservation of raw materials, it's economically affordable, able to be modified or further developed, like if the person needs to have the prosthetic implant modified later on in his life, that can be achieved, and socially and ethically accepted by the general public.
So specifically in biomed, we, with the career of in prosthetics, we kind of focused in on. So if you're building prosthetic in someone's body, you can't just have it need to be serviced every 5 years or 10 years. You want something that's lasts for a lifetime, because you don't want to have to go through surgery every 5 years when you need your prosthetic to be serviced. Also, we want to use materials that are accepted by the body and won't be rejected and won't have any other side effects. We don't want materials that will corrode or flake away or break away. And also the wear and tear of the everyday life of the body is, we want it to be able to last through those type of conditions. So that was something we really focused on. And also, we talked about, we had an idea of recycling parts. And when you think about recycling prosthetics, it might seem kind of weird. But if you can take prosthetics that have been used by someone previously, then they're no longer using them because they're deceased or whatever. If any bit of those parts can be taken apart and reworked and modified, then it helps with sustainability of the overall product because you're using those raw materials over and over again. So it might seem kind of weird, but it's a possibility, I guess. That's one thing we touched on. Do you want to anything?
What's the animal?
It's a dragon. It's a dragon because I made a spelling error. So
might as well make it a dragon. So very sustainable too. The career path that we chose is basically prosthetics and prosthetic design. And we were thinking about how a prosthetic should last for a lifetime. It's not a product that will last for 4 or 5 years and you have to replace it. You want that product to be actually working for a lifetime, basically. Jason touched upon how we can recycle the materials and everything, because that will be important in conserving the materials, and that will create a sustainable product. And one more thing, the thing that Javi talked about is the parts that can be modified, because even if new products or new designs come up, you want to incorporate that into the new designs. And the last thing that we in the social terms, you want the product to be accepted by the society. For example, here in the U.S., it's socially acceptable for you to be walking around with a prosthetic leg or arm or something. In other countries, this might not be the case. So you actually have to include that in your design too, and how it fits the society and the culture that you're in. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Jason shouldn't write a paper. Jason, he was a scribe.
All right, so that was good. 2 things that I thought of while you guys were talking, and I talked to one group about it, and you guys kind of touched on it a little. But thinking about what does sustainability mean as an engineer here in the United States of America in a nice developed country versus something, say you're designing a product that will be used somewhere else. So, after the earthquake in Haiti, there are a lot of groups here that figured out all these housing units that could be sent to Haiti. So are they used? Are they still lasting? Can people fix them there, or do they need some specialized tool that we have in the U.S. but they don't have to fix? So that's one thing to think about, which would apply to a lot of different areas. And the other thing that I thought of when the electrical and computer engineers group was talking was the kind of difference between sustainability versus technology. So like, how many people have had a new phone within the last 18 months? Was your previous phone like not working, or do you just want the newer one? Okay, so I mean, but think about, that's one thing to think about, right? The way, like, cell phones drive me crazy because you buy a cell phone now and in 6 months the next newest thing is going to come out. That is not sustainable at all. It's so wasteful. It's the opposite of sustainable in like every single way, but it still happens. So as an engineer, how can you fix that? How can you address that? I think that's going to be an issue. Someday someone's going to be like, why are we buying all this junk when what we have is perfectly fine?
You have to change society's view of things before you can stop making something. If you just stop doing it, you have a lot of upset customers.
And that changing society's view is not something that can be done easily or quickly. But any other thoughts? Yes.
Basically, if a company like Apple, for example, if they drop their like iPhone 10 next week, everybody's gonna obviously buy it. But if that's their latest design, like they don't know where to go next, so they wouldn't be able to make money. So they probably don't care about sustainability. They just care about making money. So that's just the way it is, I guess.
So you have to think about. They're probably thinking about sustainability in some way, but how are they thinking about it? Then you first. Go ahead.
Well, speak again about Apple. I think it's interesting how they may come out with new products, but they are constantly updating the software. So even if people who are a little bit behind are kind of getting a new phone in a way, but not physically.
Yeah, so there's a software update, which is a little bit, but sometimes you have an old phone and the new software can't even run on your old phone. But anyways.
Well, basically, they are thinking about sustainability in the sense that they're thinking about their market shares.
Exactly.
So if you have a phone and you keep it for 3 years, they're not making any money.
Right.
So basically, it's a planned obsolescence thing. You know, they need you to buy a new phone. They want you to buy it.
Right.
That's why they keep making it.
Sustainability is more in customer base.
So it's more of an economical sustainability. For them. For everybody else, it's not.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, the university went paperless. And they said they went paperless because it was green. Why did they really go paperless? Save money, exactly. It's still sustainable, right? They save lots of money because now they're not printing all this stuff. They save money on the ink, the paper, and things are easier, right? It's now all electronic. We go online to get our paychecks, and you go online to do your time clocks. If you're a student, you work here. It's all still sustainable.
One other note I want to add to that is my husband works in the printing press industry, which is unfortunate because books are not so much growing these days. But there was a study by the printing industry that said it actually takes more energy and resources to have books digitally produced because it uses more energy to read a book digitally than to actually print it. So yes, it's green because there's no more paper, but now you have different resources. So it's just a trade-up. All right, so anyone have other comments? Yeah, let's get out of here. There will be a, wait, not quite yet. There will be a response paper. We'll post that after class. Can I have the markers back, please?
All right, my section, make sure you check off the sheet.
Here's a civil marker.
Thank you later.
See ya. Thank you. Are you coming?
Your husband working
Around? Are you going to be around? Right, I'll see you.
Check it off twice, you're going to have to check it off again.
Markers, markers.
You guys want to meet over the weekend or maybe here?
take these just in case?
Yeah, right.
Taylor.
Like you're not gonna look at it.
I don't know if Lee in his office, right? He's in there now. You can ask him if he's in there on weekends. If he's not, I can find my husband's stuff.
Oh, that.
I have everything in dog touch.
You downloaded it?
Yeah.
It doesn't even do anything. That's because I haven't selected it. You can't tell me this.
So yeah, I'll
I'll send out an email. Scott, will you stop down by the materials lab? I'll stop by on my way out, see if he's there.
What's your ear? Posters?
Materials lab. Where all the equipment is, you know, where all the materials, they go like I'll show you. That way you'll know if they meet you there, you'll be like, right, I'm gonna get there. In the basement, Dana.
So people just
Right where the UT tunnel is.
Oh, like next to where the biomaterials lab is for Dr. Noah.